Hello, folks. We're going to talk about Eisenhower's meetings with extraterrestrials are only the tip of the iceberg. This is by Lukas Magnuson from October 2016 from the Disclosed TV website. Look at this fierce face of this fierce looking alien with those big black eyes like that, you know. I wonder if their eyes really look like that, or if those black areas are a type of contact lens that shields them from hurting their eyes when they're out above ground. I completely believe they live underground on Earth. They're an Earth being. I don't think they're from Zeta Reticuli, that you can actually travel to a star system that is multiple thousands of millions of miles away. To me, you're just stepping into interdimensional ranges that are actually much closer than they appear, like objects in your rearview mirror. On December the 11th of 1984, a television producer and UFO researcher called Jamie Shandera was surprised to find an envelope left anonymously for him to find. The envelope would prove to be a revelation for Shandera, who found that it contained copies of secret documents intended for the former President Dwight Eisenhower. These documents referred to the presence of extraterrestrials here on Earth and strongly suggested that the President had been dealing with them. President Eisenhower's great-granddaughter speaks out about the secret alien meetings. The FBI took it upon themselves to investigate the documents, but following a thorough investigation, they claimed that the documents were nothing more than an elaborate hoax. Most people accepted the FBI's explanation at face value, and it might have been the case that nothing more would have been said about these unusual documents. However, the story has remained prominent for ufologists over the years because of the regularity in which other credible individuals have elaborated on Shandera's story and furnished it with important details. One of these individuals is Timothy Good, a former government consultant in the United States. President Eisenhower suddenly went missing on the evening of February 20th of 1954. In order to dispel the rumors that he was taken ill or that he had died, his official staff said that the president was undergoing emergency dental work. But according to Good, this story is nonsense. Eisenhower had actually been hurried away to an emergency meeting with delegates from an alien race of the Pleiades star cluster. These aliens, whose vivid blue eyes, pale skin, and blonde hair has earned them the sobriquet of the Nordics, and they're believed to be a peace-loving species. They offered humanity assistance with technology and medical knowledge so long as human beings agreed to turn away from fossil fuels and nuclear weapons technology. Their terms were not agreed to at this meeting. Okay, I'm skipping over a video here called The Truth About Majestic 12, or MJ12, with Paul Kurtz. Encourage you to come to this site in my link and watch these videos that are embedded. Following the refusal of the Nordics' proposals, a second alien race is said to have made contact with humanity and offered their own deal. This race, known as the Tall Greys, or simply the Greys, offered Eisenhower access to highly advanced technology, on the proviso that the United States would give the Greys leeway to abduct and perform experiments on civilians before wiping their memories and returning them to Earth. Wow, folks, you could have been wiped, or I could have been wiped. Maybe we've already been probed and we don't even know it. Ugh. It is said that Eisenhower grudgingly accepted this deal. While it might seem extraordinarily callous for a sitting president to put his civilians in such danger, others have been sympathetic to Eisenhower's dilemma. The deal came as the Cold War was growing tenser, and it is assumed that if Eisenhower had refused the offer from the Greys, that they would have contacted his counterpart in the Soviet Union and gifted them with the extraordinarily advanced technology instead. Okay, now I'm skipping over another video about Frank Skinner with Timothy Good about Eisenhower's visits. Come watch it. The Nordics continued their contact with human beings despite the fact that the government of the United States had entered into a pact with the Greys, an alien species the Nordics distrust. Let me interject, folks. Maybe the Nordics are actually another advanced race from our geocentric system of wandering stars above the plane. Like, say, maybe they're Venusians, or they're from Jupiter, or they're from Neptune, Pluto, maybe they're from somewhere else, Mercury, but they don't actually come from the Pleiadian star system, which is billions and billions and billions of miles away. Maybe those stars are actually closer than what we think. The measurement to the sun, if you assume the Earth is a ball, you get millions and millions of miles away, like 93 million. But if you're looking at shadows on posts in 3 different cities and you triangulate and you calculate, you do your trigonometry and you calculate your angle and you do your opposite over adjacent calculation and you come up with a new parsec, P-A-R-S-E-C, look that up. That's your unit of measurement that you measure to the distance of the sun. Before you do any high math, you have to make certain assumptions in your model, then you do the math. Now, if you assume the Earth is a ball, a spherical globe, you're going to get 93 million miles from 20 million. Some astronomers got 19 million to 20s and 30 millions. There was one astronomer that got, was it Kepler or Cassini? They got 93 million miles. But that's assuming that the shadows are on a ball. I mean, think about it in your mind. If you're looking at shadows from a sun that's 93 million miles away, it's going to make almost parallel lines on posts that are making shadows. But if you assume the Earth is an infinite plane or any flat surface, and you measure shadows in a city on a flat surface, those same shadows are going to put your sun at thousands of miles away, not millions. It's all about perspectives. And as a mathematician myself, I'm an economist, and I have a postgraduate degree in advanced corporate finance. I could do all of the math that you see, like in the C section of the Wall Street Journal, with the pencil. I've taken physical science, chemistry, biology, anatomy, physiology. I worked in the medical device industry, and I know how to read statistical summaries. I spent 2 years of my college career doing calculus-based statistical analysis. So when you're talking about R squared, your standard deviation, your tails, binomial curves, exponential curves, the Box-Cox test, a White test, integral functions, queuing theory, trigonometry, geometry, hyperplane geometry. I actually specialized myself in hyperplane geometry. One thing that people don't know is that the mathematics used in economics are the same mathematical models used in engineering and science. You just replace, if you're looking at nominal interest rate over real interest rate over an extended period within an associated set of independent variables to find y, which is your dependent variable. It's the same thing as if you're looking for, let's say in metal alloy compounding, if you're looking for certain metals that create structural strength or tensile strength within a metal product that's an alloy, and you manufacture different things with different metals and minerals, and you test their strengths with the different measurements that you apply to them. It's the same as a mathematical model. There's only so many, even in high math, even in calculus-based statistics, even in multiple linear regression, ordinary least squares, compounding permutations, integral-based statistics, it doesn't matter. Math is math. Math is a language. So when you're like me and you're a mathematician, you look at math as a language. And I'm telling you, I've measured the distance to the sun myself, and I came up with thousands of miles away. It's not millions even. Anyway, back to the article here. One such Nordic alien is referred to as Valiant Thor, who first appeared in 1957 in a quiet field where he found a policeman and demanded to be taken to the president. "Take me to your leader." That famous quote. Over the next 3 years, he attended meetings of high political importance in the United States and met with various other private individuals, including the creator of Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry. Didn't he live in the Pentagon? Oh, here's a video called Stranger at the Pentagon. Valiant Thor actually lived at the Pentagon, from what I've read. Perhaps most compellingly of all is the testimony from Eisenhower's own great-granddaughter, Laura, who says that she has no doubt that the meetings between her great-grandfather and the two alien races took place. It's like there's this whole other reality going on that we don't know about, she said. These timelines and the deeper history connected to these secret societies, connected to these deeper ET agendas that have been around for thousands of years. According to Laura Eisenhower, the deal with the Greys has led the United States into a number of bizarre and highly dangerous secret space programs. She says that the actions of her great-grandfather should now serve as a warning about the dangers of the power and influence of the military-industrial complex. So here it's talking about Eisenhower, President Dwight D. Eisenhower, who was a retired 5-star general. You know, today I see a lot of 4-star generals. I used to travel with a retired 4-star general when I worked unwittingly as a contributor within a skull and bones type of what you would call an Illuminati company. I actually worked for Dick Cheney after Desert Storm before he became vice president, and I worked for a pharmaceutical company and vaccine manufacturing company selling vaccines overseas for animal health, but we were also researching H1N1, and our pathologist said we're going to have a product in the future, it's going to affect humans. Think about that. But if Eisenhower met with aliens, I think the Nordics are what we would call gods with the small g, who are here, and these Greys are what we would call maybe demons. And they live underground, but they're stuck there, and they know they cannot interfere with the human civilization advancement, uninvited, not allowed by God with the capital G, the Creator. But they're here. Anyway, that's just my opinion. So please go look up this article. Check the links that I provide below. Thanks for coming to Plain Mundane Show. Please hit like and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications when I put out some more videos. I'm going to do some more Eisenhower alien videos here right now, so look for them. Thanks for coming. I'm out.